What's up, people? In this video we're going to cover another influencer that's recently been promoting a trading scam, and this time surprisingly is going to be Johnny Carey. I say surprisingly because I used to watch him back in the day and would have never thought that this is what he will turn to. He didn't seem like the type of person, but I mean, at the end of the day, money is money and people will do anything to get it. I used to watch him years back when he got popular by making funny this versus that skits and then completely forgot about him. Until one of you pointed out in the comments that he's been doing it as well. I thought there's no way, but then I went on his Instagram and there it was. A link to his trading group under the name Skits to Pips. So of course I went ahead and clicked on it to see what's going on. I sent him a message and this time for a change I got sent a video instead of a voice message, which I'm not going to show you in case I get copyright striked again. But as always, it began with him talking about making a change and congratulating you for doing so and not being scared. Then he went on about other people being skeptical just like you, but he said he will attach testimonials and screenshots of how much he can make. All of this, of course, being fake. And the only reason he congratulated you is because it will encourage you to join even more by making you feel like you're doing the right thing. The problem here is as well that his viewing back then was kids that now all grew up to being 18 plus, that have known who he is over the years and in a way build trust into him, and wouldn't suspect that he's promoting a scam. Because he just doesn't seem like the person, at least he didn't seem like it back then. So I don't doubt he's making a decent amount of money from it, because this generation we live in now, a lot of them are looking for that quick money scheme. Something that will make you millions of no effort, but that doesn't exist, and the method that he's promoting will only make him millions of minimal effort. And it will bring no real value to you. He's basically turned into another lifestyle influencer trying to make some profit on his viewers. But let's carry on, let's see what's going on here. The message after that video was two links, one leading you to a group of 3 testimonials and the other one leading to a group filled with screenshots of results. Some seemed legit, as it wasn't massive wins, but some were a bit dodgy like 17k, but of course people are getting smarter and they know that promising thousands just like that is stupid. He said to reply I'm ready once I went through it, so I did just that. He then sent me a link to his broker of choice. As you can see here, this time it's Pop Prime. Straight away, we can as always see a minimum deposit of £300 to make sure he gets paid. That's always a red flag, because no legit broker will give you a minimum to sign up higher than £50, unless it's a broker designed more for the high capital traders, but that will be higher than 300. There was no talk about the leverage, so I sent him a message asking about the leverage and he came back with 1 to 500. So we got a confirmation it's unregulated, as UK regulations are 1 to 30 maximum. This is technically all that we need to know, because now you know that wherever you're sending your money, it is not protected by any authority, even though they claim that it is. I'll prove to you in a bit that it's not. What we know for sure is that it's definitely not regulated in the UK. For some of you, this wouldn't be enough to stop you from risking your money, and this video would be pointless, so let's carry on. The next step is of course checking reviews in Reddit. As always, the reviews didn't really get us much because you don't know which ones are real, which ones are not. But it's always worth checking. What's interesting is that there's only 1-star and 5-star reviews, nothing in between, which kind of gives you a hint how real they really are. The more important one is Reddit. It's one that I always check because more often than not, if the broker has been around for some time, people either ask questions or warn about the broker, and there you can find answers about them being a scam. When I checked Reddit, however, I couldn't find much at first. There wasn't anything that instantly caught my eye, as there was no warnings against them. Instead, I found people asking questions about if they've ever used Pop Prime and what they think. And rather than finding negative answers, even though there wasn't many, I only found positive ones. Like the one you can see on the screen now. It doesn't take a genius to realize that this is obviously written by AI and made basically to work as an advert. Why is this? Because these brokers are getting smarter by the day and will do anything to make them seem as legit as possible just to get people to join. And it's very common practice for people to go straight to Reddit to check against any scams. So they made sure that there are answers in place that will guide people towards them. Just to confirm this being a bot, I clicked on his profile to see his other posts. And as you can see on the screen now, there's just more instances of similar posts promoting Pop Prime, and that's it. So that confirms it just being a bot. I found one other bot doing the same thing, but nothing else, no warnings, no stories about them, only these fake adverts, so we carry on looking. Some might argue that, well, if you didn't find any warnings or people calling it a scam, surely it just isn't a scam. Well, not quite. I'll give you a tip here. Believe me when I say that 99%, if not all instances like this one are a scam. There is not an easy way of becoming rich, and especially not in the stock market. This is one of the slower and more complicated ways into financial freedom. So when looking to find out if something is a scam, don't look for things that say that it's not a scam. Rather, look for things that tell you that it is. Because these brokers will do anything to seem legit. And the last thing you want to do is send your money somewhere where it won't be safe, and it definitely won't be with unregulated brokers. I advise you to look into brokers like Interactive Brokers or Pepperstone. They have been around for years, they're completely regulated, and they're all you need. You don't need access to any useless signal groups, and rather you have the entire internet at your disposal. It's all there. Most of these signals are provided by the broker themselves either way, to make sure you lose all your money, because they expect you to follow their signals like a Bible due to lack of knowledge. But let's carry on looking for signals. My next step is the FCA website. And as I expected, here is a screenshot from the FCA website warning you about this being a potential scam, and informing you that you will not be protected by the UK regulations nor the Financial Conduct Authority, and that Part Prime should not be targeting or advertising to customers in the UK, which you can also see in this welcome message when you open their website. But how do they get around it? They're not advertising to you, Johnny is doing it for them and getting affiliate money per sign up. There isn't much more to add on this one, so let's move on to the next thing. I went ahead and found Part Prime on LinkedIn to see who's working there, and I found this guy working as the CEO. The reason I wanted to find this is because I wanted to see his previous jobs, and the job he was at right before Part Prime was another brokerage, under the name OnePro, which he was also the CEO of. And what did I find about OnePro? I found them on a list of investor reports on the FX Gecko Reddit, warning you about a person not being able to withdraw money after making profit. I also found a post on Reddit which was a person complaining that he couldn't take money out of OnePro and was getting no replies. And lastly, I found yet another person complaining about withdrawals, but this time it wasn't Broker's View. So we can see a clear pattern here, and this shows you the exact problem with unregulated brokers. So what are the chances that Pub Prime is any different? But let's carry on, as this video isn't about OnePro, and let's get back to Pub Prime. I've only got one more dodgy thing about them, but it's an interesting one. So to start off, we got to look at the footer of the page where we can see several information about where they are regulated and authorized to work. And on that list, we can see the Financial Services Authority of Seychelles, the Financial Services Commission of Mauritius, the Financial Sector Conduct Authority of South Africa, and the Australian Securities and Investments Commission, along with the corresponding license numbers. So of course, I went ahead and checked that out, and here's what I got. When you check the FSA of Seychelles, all that comes up is this warning about a broker under a different name using this exact license number, but nothing about Part Prime. And then when you check the FSC of Mauritius, there is no record of them. And same thing when you take the FSCA of South Africa. And lastly, also zero record of them in the ASIC. So clearly they are not regulated anywhere. We have no clue whether they're registered or if they're registered at all, and possibly that they've been reusing the same fake license number as other brokers. That could, at the end of the day, belong to them. Little do you know, this could all be set up by one person. Looking at this alone, I would highly discourage you from depositing money with this broker, as there's a high risk you will never see that money again. So I advise you to ignore any schemes that look similar to this one. In fact, anything with a mention of a broker should be instantly avoided. This is the most popular trading scam at the moment, and loads of influencers are jumping onto it. Influencers that you would never suspect, so stay away from it. I'll give you another tip though. If I was you, I'd avoid the trading signals overall. Paid or not, they're never actually that good and you will lose money over time. Rather, put the time in and learn it yourself. Pick a strategy, follow it like a Bible and see what works. Don't follow another person's strategy though. Learn what you need and see what works for you. Don't overcomplicate it for yourself. There is no easy way around trading and no one is out there to make you rich. If you have survived to the end of the video, I'm just going to give you a quick explanation of what a broker actually is and why it's important to make sure you choose a regulated one. So, what's a broker? Broker is essentially the middleman between you and the stock market. It's the company who will forward your trades to the trade books and charge you a fee for doing so. Now obviously you got brokers which are trustworthy and regulated, for example Pepperstone, which are there to simply give you access to the stock market. And there are also hundreds of dodgy ones set up offshore which you should avoid for various reasons, as they are there to make profits from you and they pay influencers commission per sign up to get them to advertise. A dodgy broker may charge you unnecessarily high fees and offer really bad spreads on trades, as well as offering really high leverage, for example 1 to 500, meaning for every £1 they put in £500, which is a disaster for new traders because if you don't use proper risk management, you will lose all your money quickly. Another important thing is that under UK regulations, there is something called negative balance protection, meaning that if you open a trade and it goes horribly wrong, the broker is forced to close the trade before your balance goes into negatives to stop you from owing money to the broker. An unregulated broker will not have this, meaning you are able to go below zero and in turn have to pay for what you lost. This coupled with really high leverage is a dangerous game and you may suffer great losses. But that will be it for this video. I hope this helps out and hopefully saved a couple people from wasting their money. Stay safe out there and remember 90% of traders lose 90% of their capital in 90 days. I'll see you in another video.